Happy New Year!
Yeah, Happy New Year. It's probably what? April, June? Welcome to Game Over Gerkinman. This is Gerkinman, of course, the illustrious Lord and Leader. We're here with part 19 of 26 episodes of The Wind Waker HD. We have people with us because we're so popular on this show, and by we, I mean me, but I'm not the guest because I'm the fucking host. Who are the guests?
Well, I'm gonna go first because I always go last. So,
He's breaking convention.
what was my name? I'm Mark, otherwise known as 13. I've done video editing, animation. I walk sometimes. Drive a car.
Suck a lot of dick.
Yeah.
Well, that's nice.
That was beautiful.
I'll go last.
All right. Okay then. Hey everybody, it's Namir or Jess. I make games about games. I've done it again. I make videos about video games and Let's Plays, and I do voice acting. And I even do voice acting on my Let's Plays. It's beautiful. Yeah, in that order.
Hey, I'm Blordo. I do product reviews of sex toys. Also do some other things on the internet, like nothing that is interesting. Thanks.
So, what is your favorite Zelda-based sex toy, Blordo?
Good question.
Jesus.
Ooh, maybe what do we got?
It'd have to be
so many items I have to think about.
It'd have to be the Master Sword, wouldn't it?
The hook shot goes alright sometimes as well.
I feel like a powerful jab.
You got the two-handed Goron sword. I mean, that's
that goes down straight.
That's what Jess calls it.
Jesus Christ!
Oh dear! Oh, this
After a flyer.
this is going right off the rails.
Okay. So where are we in all seriousness?
We are halfway through. By halfway, I mean a third of the way, because you only get a third of the way through this temple before you get given the hook shot. Through the Wind Temple, which is the final temple in the game.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
After this, we got that ever popular Triforce quest.
Oh, why didn't they build stairs?
Because that would have been less time consuming for the player to play through and would have made the game feel shorter.
Also, because it's the Wind Temple and you have to fly sometimes. Jeez. God. Jeez.
Why would you even bother having a wind temple if you're going to put stairs in it?
I've had it up to here with your lip, and I know you can't see how high I'm holding my hand, but I assure you it is at least 2 feet off the ground.
Oh, watch out.
Yeah, Mark had to bend over to tell you just how much he's mad.
There's a joke in there somewhere.
You know what? I'm not even gonna.
Look, Mark's well known for his ability to bend over, but we won't get into that because... Oh!
I feel so violated. Thank you, Dan.
Well, you know, violating you is what I do best.
Oh, no, it's really not.
That's true. I'm not good at anything. I'm about as good at violating as I am at Zelda. It's quite embarrassing.
Anyway,
this episode's been quite terrible. I do apologize, but seriously, this game's really long. Hey, look, we saved this little guy.
Yeah, you totally just disregarded Makar for the joy pendant.
Yeah,
it was beautiful.
Fuck that guy.
Makar.
Oh.
What am I doing? Why have I paused?
Look at the Wii U gamepad. What did you look at? Whee!
Oh
no.
Oh god.
You got to plant the little plants here.
Oh, that's alright.
Yeah.
You knew what you were doing.
Yeah, jeez. Sometimes I do the right thing. Not often, but sometimes. That said, then this son of a bitch comes up behind me and fucking rapes me, I think. Oh, no, he didn't. I thought he was going to.
Yeah, because that's the unfortunate thing with whenever you have Medley and Makar. If they get hit, they're done.
And they got no way of defending themselves, which is annoying.
Done.
Almost as annoying as this temple.
This is tree-powered fan?
Yeah, that's how he gets around. He's a heli tree man.
I don't. But what? No, I mean he planted 2 trees and now we have fans. What kind of crazy science?
Zelda science.
Oh, you're on the wrong side.
Yep. Wrong side again. Na, 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 na. I was going to sing a Muppet song, but then I forgot the lyrics.
Copyright. Reminds me of this reminds me of the thermals in Pilot Wing 64.
Yeah, let's talk about Pilot Wings. We've got the time. This episode's like 52 minutes long. Who else here played? I only played the 64 one.
Yeah, me too. The DS one looked decent, and I've only seen screenshots of the original Super Nintendo one.
I forgot there was one on the 3DS.
Yeah, it was the kind of one of the launch titles to kind of. It seemed really good. It seemed quite soothing. Whereas like the 64 one was it was pretty much like a tech demo that they turned into a game more or less, right?
Nintendo was really good at doing that.
Yeah, and it was this really relaxing, fun little game.
Yeah, it was just like little flight challenges. My mum actually got a bit weird because one of the characters in there, because you could select a character and they all said like a different thing when you clicked on them, just like in Mario Kart. And one of them was this lady, and when you like selected, she goes, oh yeah. And my mum thought it sounded very, very suggestive.
Probably was.
Probably.
It's probably
Things like that. Things like that remind me of Donkey Kong 64 whenever they're doing the DK rap. And there's that one part, like I remember sitting in the living room playing this game for the first time, and there's that one part where he goes, "This Kong's one hell of a guy," and I just remember like gasping and looking back to see if my mom had heard it.
Yeah, hell was never a swear word here. No, back in America, hell was like, if you said hell or damn in something, that got you like a PG-13 rating back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh no!
I hate those.
So I remember
offensive?
looking back. Like,
Yeah, hell's
oh,
offensive
shit.
in the US.
Yeah.
What?
And
What are you supposed to say? Heck or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
What the
Or at
heck?
school we'd say, and because I'm in Canada, in school we would just say HE double hockey sticks.
That saves
you're
absolutely
Canadian.
no time.
Yeah, like hockey.
Yeah. That's the joke.
I thought Canada was the joke.
That don't probably exist. Offensive.
All kinds of offensiveness.
So you're just destroying all the giant Maui statues in the
Yeah,
temple.
that would have an electric thing in it because why not?
Oh, bring it closer and kill yourself.
That was
I thought it would
smart.
stun it because the hook shot in the previous game
Yeah.
stunned enemies, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
This
this,
one brings you.
this one doesn't happen.
You
And I've got
can't-
my
you can't
iron
keep
boots
pressing
on,
the-
so I can't get away from him.
Shit.
You can't keep pressing the same button. That's not fair.
Oh no! I had the iron boots on, and he shocked me
With
before.
electricity away. Giant leap.
Never would have thought that would work.
Desperate times. Yeah. It's I say with the iron boots, if you get hit, it's quite easy to get hit multiple times before you even get a chance to take them off because everything's slower with them. And that's what was happening.
And you
there.
got to jump out of them too, so that takes time.
Yeah, you gotta wait for the animation to take place, and by then you already get hit again. And it's just like, oh, great. A perpetual loop of madness.
So I say they take the same kind of things from the water temple, which was the vertical layout as well as the iron boots, and they've adapted it to a new mechanic, which is wind.
Well,
Interesting.
I don't think the iron boots have been adapted to the wind mechanic. I think the hook
Well,
shot and the iron boots combo was an interesting mechanic. Grabbing two items and using them in unison together, which I can't really think of any other games that do that in the series.
Yeah. In the series.
Can you, Jess?
Trying to think back.
Huh. Yeah, no, I really can't.
I'm surprised I haven't experimented more with since Wind Waker.
You know what though? By the time this episode's done, this will sit on my brain all night, and then I'll be laying in bed and I'll just bolt up and be like, "Ah!"
Of course,
That's
that
usually
one
how these
thing.
sort of things. Yeah, it's usually how it goes.
Oh, land!
Mikhail, you got this. You got this. You got.
He's
Oh
not
No,
gonna
no!
Oh,
Holy crap!
Lucky save.
yeah. Oh,
No!
unlucky.
Oh god.
I had quite a few things. I think hopefully I cut them out where like I had things like the camera just went fucked, and so I had to replay 10 minutes of climbing.
Yeah.
Yeah. The camera does something bad, fall down, 10 minutes of climbing later, back where I was. That,
I've noticed that's kind of a thing that everybody does. Like, whenever they walk in with, like, Makar or Medley, or even Rudo in the case of Ocarina of Time, everybody just kind of tends to put them, like, right at the door, like, right in the corner, like, don't get hurt, little friend, and then you go off and do your thing.
Well, you're not going to walk into the middle of the bad guys and just be like, here you go! I could have thrown him into the middle, I guess.
I'm sure somebody's just, like, gone in, threw Makar halfway across the room, and then just kind of went on about their thing. But
Nintendo probably don't expect anyone to do that, and so they coded it so when you do that, he, like, kills them all or something like that, but no one knows about it, because no one's ever attempted it.
It's just a cute little thing.
Well, Makar's like a poor defenseless little thing. I'm not being sexist against tree people by calling him little and defenseless, by the way, so if you're gonna get all, like... Gonna get all uppity about it.
How is that sexist? It's
No, I've just noticed that, like,
you're a botanist. That's what you are.
I'm a botanist. Everyone on the internet, like, say anything to like anything about anything, and all of a sudden you're being sexist or fat shaming or skinny shaming or Makar shaming in this case. People on the internet need to, like, settle down a little bit, pull their heads out of their asses.
You're telling everybody on the internet to settle down. Every single person.
Yeah, everyone on the internet, please pull your head out of your asshole.
Good advice.
You
and
like
wash
that?
It, please.
Yeah, please wash your face. Wash the shit off your face.
Watch the dislikes come in.
Maybe I'll get some likes from that one guy.
Drop for me, but everything's still working.
It's funny how, like...
Throw baby.
Something you say can just be instantly disliked by someone. There's no hesitation at all. I'm just going to dislike for that one little comment he made.
Yep. I don't like his attitude towards this one thing, so everything he does is rubbish and I hate him.
Yep.
So, Tumblr in a nutshell?
Yeah, basically just Tumblr.
Well, Matt, I'm going to go dislike all these other videos as well, just to show how pissed off I am.
Now that you've said throw baby Mark, should we play through Trogdor?
Only if you do everything.
Peasant's Quest, sorry, it was
You
Peasant's
haven't played
Quest.
Peasant's Quest? Oh, man, you're missing out.
What the hell is that?
It was back in the Homestar Runner days. They made an old school adventure game called Peasant's Quest.
Based around the Sierra, King's Quest, Police Quest, Space Quest games. Some of my favorite games: Space Quest, King's Quest, and Police Quest, as well as Leisure Suit Larry, and I believe The Quest. Or there's another game out there, A Quest for Glory. These are adventure games back in the day. Some of the best.
Here's some little facts about adventure games back in the day. Leisure Suit Larry was never any good. It sucked then. It sucks now.
I remember my uncle. This was like way back in the day, like 94, 95.
Oh yeah, that's way back.
Yeah, on his tiny little PC that he had, in the kitchen, which was really strange to me for some reason, but there was like a family gathering and we were all there, and then he brought all the adults around the computer to watch him play Leisure Suit Larry. And I remember, like, we would, like, my cousins and I, we'd try to, like, squeeze in to see what was going on, and they'd just be like, no, get out, get out! And they'd kind of, like, push us away.
Yeah.
Oh, good times.
Yeah.
They're protecting you from the horrible gameplay. They were games that were popular because they had tits in them. The games themselves were never any, or even close to being remotely worth playing.
The other games, though, King's Quest, Space Quest, and Police Quest, were all very quality games.
Now, I think getting Makar here and me here, like, I died like a billion. Oh, actually, no, it was once I got Makar in here, I died a billion times and kept running out of magic. But, as you could just tell from that fade, I cut out like 40 minutes of just jumping back and forth across that fucking room.
Wow. No wonder you hate this dungeon.
Yeah, it was so infuriating. Jess will back me up on that, though. It is pretty annoying. Like, you come in here, like, oh, cool, I can get more magic.
You back that thing up, Jess. I apologize.
It's okay. You don't have to apologize. No, I mean, yeah, it's a really long... I mean, I think this dungeon has to be much longer than the Earth Temple. I think. It's just... Yes, it is. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I like this temple a lot. I really do, but at the same time, it can be really, really infuriating.
Yeah.
It's just time consuming, but it's not like that that puzzle at the end of the Earth Temple. It's like, yay, this is like a fun little.
Why
Yeah.
don't the boots weigh you down while they're in your magic satchel?
Because
question.
Nintendo.
Yes, Mark, it's Nintendo. You should know
Because
Because magic.
Nintendo. Yeah, it's magic. That's what it is.
Did you know
it's the
that
same reason why Link can carry like 30,000 items in his bag or pockets or ass or wherever he carries all these things in.
Did you know that Sega does what Nintendo don't?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But then they went out of business. They started
add guns.
Sega went out of business.
Sega's had to. We got out of the console business.
Well, it's
Yeah.
true. They do what Nintendo.
To be fair, they did make the 32X, which sucked.
They also made.
what do you think was the worst console, Virtual Boy or 32X? Because they're both essentially
Well, the
failures that came out
32X
around
wasn't
the
a
same
console. It was an extension
an
of the
add-on,
Mega
yeah.
Drive or the Genesis. Was it the Mega Drive or
was-
the Genesis over there?
time. Genesis.
Yeah, it was Mega Drive over here.
Yeah.
I don't know why Sega had the best fucking names for their consoles.
They did. They really
Master
did.
System shits all over Nintendo as a name. Mega Drive and Genesis both sounds cooler than Super Nintendo. Saturn sounds way cooler than Nintendo 64 or Gay Station. And then the Dreamcast is just like the greatest console name of all time, period.
Dream.
First
Dreamcast.
off, I'm pretty sure it's not actually called a gay station.
Oh, sorry, I
Maybe down
slipped.
in
I meant,
Australia.
I meant Lame Station. That's what we used to call them in high
That's a
school.
PlayStation.
No, the PlayStation's just got like, it was weird that like Nintendo were considered the childish company because the PlayStation to me sounds more like a children's toy than a Nintendo 64 does. Like 64 is a big number, so you know it's good.
Yeah.
Whereas PlayStation's like sounds like a toy.
Sounds like a station you'd play on.
Yeah.
But PlayStation as we've seen, does work better as a brand.
Yeah. The
Or they
PlayStation's
have
definitely
worked better
grown.
as a brand.
So
Whereas here's the other thing is that whenever you play the old systems, you would always refer to it. The original system for Nintendo was the Nintendo Entertainment System or the
yeah,
NES.
so just
or
got the NES. Yeah.
The next one was the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, and
SNES.
denoting that it's better. But you call it SNES, Super NES, or Super Nintendo, or I'd go back and call it the original Nintendo for the NES. Those are company. That's the company name. That's not
Yeah.
the product name.
Yeah.
And even with Nintendo 64, still this is the same problem. We never called Game Boy Nintendo Game Boy. You never called the GameCube Nintendo.
No, it was the
3D
Nintendo GameCube.
Oh, that's true. It was the Nintendo GameCube was the official name. But
GameCube
you
was
never
a
just
great
call it
system with a
Nintendo.
horrible, one of the worst names in the history of, probably the worst name from before the Wii came out.
Yeah, pretty much.
It could also be the Japanese translation into English as well, because I know they're very
Ah.
straightforward with translating their names into English.
Yeah.
Game.
That could be it.
Cube.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, they would have been named by Nintendo of America.
Yeah, I wonder what they were in Japan originally.
Well, they were the
if they
Famicom.
were.
They were the Famicom and the Super Famicom. I don't know what the Nintendo
Which was
64
the
was.
family computer.
Yeah.
Because really, it came out of an era that things were named as they were. There was computers. Like back in the day, MS-DOS was a disk operating system. It's an operating system for a computer. It's just things weren't named to be catchy brand names back then. They were just describing what they were because the industry was still fairly young and new.
That's why the Master System was called the Master System, because it was a better system than the Nintendo. Oh! Although it had a weird D-pad.
Yeah,
for
but
those who
let's-
are curious,
Yes.
sorry, Mark. For those who are curious, the Nintendo 64 in Japanese was the Nintendo Rokuyan, and then the
The what?
GameCube was
It
it was called the Nintendo Rokuyan. Roku
Ooh, yeah.
Rokuyan, Rokuyon, and then the GameCube was literally the GameCube. So
Rocky
it was the same thing.
The GameCube told it how it was.
Yeah, GameCube.
That was actually, it was
Oh, no,
actually,
Oh God! Oh God!
it was actually a bit of a lie, because GameCube implies that there were actually multiple games on it, but there was only like 5.
Virtual Boy. Ow.
Yeah, I get so lost in this temple, I never remember what I'm supposed to do next.
It's like Duke Nukem.
Yeah,
Forever.
it's a little bit better designed than Duke Nukem Forever is.
All I see are browns. Everything is brown.
There's a little bit of green.
See, that's why I don't know. We went into this in another episode about why Makar is in the Wind Temple and whenever he's clearly like a tree.
Because he has a helicopter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah,
He's
but Medley
tails.
has wings. Medley has
he
wings.
Is tails.
And he's very
Medley
light.
flies. You know, it's just.
You know why? Because then she could just fly all the way up to the top. This isn't about flying. This is about floating up.
Oh,
to the
she's
top
got to
and
fly. She can only fly a certain distance, and then she's like, I'm tired. But then a cutscene. But then she'll be in a cutscene. And she's like, I'm gonna fly for miles.
Yeah. It's true.
I'm only not tired in cutscenes.
But we went through that in a previous episode as to why each respective character is in each respective dungeon.
That was like 10 episodes ago.
Well, yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And if people weren't paying attention, well, sucks
I know
to
I
be
wasn't.
you.
Go back. You'll have to go back and watch the whole series.
Yep. Or you know, just fucking Google it, 'cause that's what I did.
What was everyone else's favorite console names of all time?
You know, nothing quite beats Atari, even though that's technically the company name.
Yeah, it was
It's
2600.
I mean,
2600 is a bigger
true.
number than anything that came after it.
Well, what about the no?
No, I
what
mean
came
by
after
other
the
companies. Like, yeah,
Oh, by
obviously
other
the Atari had the was it the 5800 and the 7800?
Yeah. Although we'll eventually get there with the PlayStation 7800.
That'll be a long time in the future. Video games will be projected directly into your brain at that point.
PlayStation 9, it's gonna happen. PS9.
PS9 confirmed.
See, what are they
Yep.
going to do whenever the PS, like the PlayStation 10 comes out, if it ever does? Because the
PSX?
PlayStation
Oh, yeah.
was the PSX.
No, PSX was something a little different. There was an
Yeah, that was that weird little
PSX
white re-release they did. I forgot about that.
So that was
Yeah,
they
that's
did
the one that I
actually think
had.
it was PS1. PSX I thought was a entertainment center that they had come out with. Look
Does
out!
any-
I don't know. I've
Does-
always called the
Too bad.
PlayStation the PSX. But
Does anyone remember the MSX, or are you all too young?
No.
The first system I had was an Odyssey 2.
Yeah, that's wicked.
What?
Yeah. It was a
Odyssey
video
2.
game with it had a computer keyboard on it.
Yeah, it was
I
kind of
remember-
a similar setup to the Commodore 64.
Here's,
Commodore
here's a little
64
tidbit,
was way
actually.
more common here.
Yeah, here's a little tidbit. The original Atari, I believe the 2600, the controller ports for it are actually identical to the Sega Genesis Master System.
Yeah. I used to use my Master System controller on my Atari.
Yeah, you can use it on there because of just how it's designed. It's a complete accident.
Well,
but they work.
it wasn't an accident. It's just like that was like a standard input at the
that's
time
true.
for
It was a
like
standard input.
for control, for not just for consoles, but for like PCs and
Yeah,
all that jazz.
it's cool retrospectively. I mean, before things became proprietary.
Yeah. Like before Apple said, no, you can't plug this in because I'm a butt.
Your face is a butt
Oh.
because you're a butt head.
Oh. Oh.
Do. Oh wait.
Da, 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 da. Yeah, I kind of miss the old days of back when things were simpler like that and you could just plug anything into anything and it would work.
Universal console.
Well,
Coming
back
soon.
then too, like if games had to work before they were released, whereas now they're like, yeah, we'll release it broken and just force everyone to do a day one patch.
Oh, God. I hate how like every game that comes out now you have to upgrade to like version 1.01 when you first put it in on the first day you get it.
Well, I was listening
I'm
to
just
like the
like-
reasons for that the other day. Michael Pachter went into it on the Pack Attack,
Yeah.
and it's because like companies it means that they can get a game out a month earlier and make their money sooner. And I mean, like usually they only take like
Fair
30
enough.
seconds or whatever, which is whatever.
Yeah.
Though I do remember with Little Big Planet, like it took fucking forever to download the update. It was like a 2 gig update when it came out.
G-Man! I think I...
Tinkle, tinkle, tinkle.
Acting!
You caught up again, Jess?
Yes,
Good.
I'm like 2 seconds off, but I'm not even gonna bother to.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, can't believe that happened.
What, did I shot a jizz robe?
No, I was just
face.
trying to mess with Jess.
Oh. I thought that like my show was a constant stream of I can't believe that happened. Dan, how are you so bad at this?
Dan, jump down. Dan, you're supposed to jump. Ah!
Never happened. You're full of lies. You don't have never even played this up to this bit, Mark. You don't know nothing.
Yeah, which means I still know more than you about it.
Oh.
Wah, wah.
Whoop, whoop, whoop,
Womp
whoop.
womp. I
Yeah.
had Tails.
So your first system was the OC2, Mark.
Earliest system that I can remember is Odyssey
What
2.
were the sick games you had on that?
I don't remember, actually.
You don't remember
'cause it
any
was
of
so
them?
long ago. I remember, I mean, they were all just standard fare stuff. I remember there was a Hangman game, and there's probably like the Tron-based games. This was a system we haven't actually gone back and played in probably like 10 years at least, me and my brother. We've gone back and played the Atari within
Atari's
the past decade.
timeless.
It is, and it's always fun to play some of the things like Haunted House and
Haunted House is not a big
Atari
game.
Circus, and Breakout.
Yeah, Atari Breakout's pretty good, but if you had the paddle.
Yeah, it's some of the classic games. But yeah, other than that, we probably I know a relative had the Atari 2600, and we eventually acquired that years later. And then it was pretty much the NES was the first major console that I ever had, and it was started everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
You guys are old.
You're old. What was your first
Yep.
system, Sean?
The one I actually owned would be a Super Nintendo.
Or
The actual playing
like
would
had in
be
had in the
NES.
house. Yeah.
Yeah, Super Nintendo. And the first game I got was Mortal Kombat. I think I was like 6 or something.
Oh,
I was playing
nice.
a game like Mortal Kombat.
Come
If you're
over.
playing it on Nintendo though, they replaced all the blood with smoke.
Did they?
Yeah.
I don't, no, I'm pretty sure they had blood in it.
Mortal
Yeah,
Kombat
there
2,
is
they put
blood.
the blood back in. That was like one of the big
Everything.
selling points for Sega. They were like, hey, Nintendo forced Midway to censor Mortal Kombat. We've got the full-on raw version here. But of course, playing it on Sega Genesis meant playing a fighting game with 2 buttons.
Yeah, never do that.
I remember playing Street Fighter on the fucking Mega Drive, and it was just like, oh.
Street Fighter's always been a pretty basic fighting game, in my opinion. I don't know. Never
Yeah?
really liked Street Fighter.
I used to play a bit of Street Fighter 2 Turbo on the Super NES. Thought it was a bit alright. Weren't no Clay Fighter though, that's for sure.
Play Fighter. Play Fighter.
That was one of my games that I owned as because my first system was a Sega Master System. It got sent to us as a gift from a friend of my father's when his kid moved out. All I had was Alex the Kid for the first like 2 or 3 years of my gaming life. But then my parents got me a Game Boy. I think that was my second system, and then my third one was a 64. With Mario Kart.
Yeah.
What about you, Jess?
What about you, Jess? Yeah. Woo!
The first system I ever owned was
Yeah.
a Nintendo. It was an NES. God, Duck Hunt Mario Brothers
Oh,
was
so
like
great.
the game that, you know what I mean.
No.
We had, oh god, and then I know we had a Super Nintendo, and then I got a Nintendo 64 for Christmas that came with Diddy Kong Racing.
Nice.
Oh, Diddy Kong.
Mm-hmm.
Bam,
I got like Game Boys and stuff in between. Like I have a Game Boy Pocket and a Game Boy Color.
Yeah, Game Boy
and-
Pocket was my first like system my parents actually bought for me.
Yeah. And then I remember getting a PlayStation 1 for Christmas.
Man,
1 year.
Nintendo 64 and a PS1.
Not in the same consecutive year. This
No,
is,
but I
like,
mean
years
that's
apart, but-
crazy to me.
Yeah.
More than one console at
and
a
then,
time.
Yeah, and I bought a PS2 myself, and then I bought my GameCube off my sister. But yeah, it all started with the NES.
Yeah, I was definitely a Sega kid growing up, but I mean, I had all my friends had Nintendo, so we could like.
Yeah, well, I mean, like my cousin had
Trade-
a
like,
had a
play-
Sega, so like anytime I was at her place, I'd just be playing Sonic all the time. But I never owned it myself.
See, I never got into the Sonic games despite being a Sega kid. But I guess because I was the Alex kid generation.
Oh yeah, that's right. God, I remember that game.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Let's not do a Let's Play that. Wonder Boy, on the other hand, Wonder
we
Boy.
did already, and you were like, "Yeah, we're not gonna put this anywhere."
Yeah. Look at us now, Mark. Look at us now.
Look at us now. Look at us now.
Um,
I still say you should do Super Putty.
well, it's not on Virtual Console.
Yeah, and it
Mainly
never will
to-
be because that game makes me vomit.
Well, what is because this is still got a fair while to go, evidently. What were some of the worst games you ever owned? Let's go through that. Sean, you go first.
Worst games. Oh shit! I think the worst games I had, I would have just traded them in or just not played them anymore.
Could you trade back in those days when you were a kid?
No.
Because like you
not
could
me
only really
personally.
get games from Kmart and like
Yeah,
as
I
a
think
kid,
we-
Kmart was the only place that had games.
Yeah, well, my dad was pretty good at getting his money back on things, so I think
Yeah.
he would have just done that. Would have just went back to the shop and be like, "This game's shit. Give some money back, mate." And get his money back, and would get a different game. But I just can't remember any games off the top of my head right now. So if someone else wants to go and think of any, I'll try and get back to you on that one.
Alright, well, I'll go ahead and go.
Super Putty.
So I mentioned Super Putty. I do not know where I got this game. It could have been something from a garage sale and we just picked it up. I don't know. This is a game based on some, I think, British IP or something. Super Putty. It's not like the American stuff that comes in the egg and you know it's just like little toy. It's something weird and
It's
I
just
showed
weird,
Dan
so it must be
videos of
from
this.
Europe.
Yeah, no, it's this like little blob thing that goes around beating up stuff, and when they beat up stuff, it turns into babies, and he has to devour the babies and then drop them off at the end of the level, which is, and this is, yeah, I know, that's what I said when I was playing it. There's really no way to describe it. I haven't gone back and played it in a while. I really should, just for shits and giggles.
We could put it on the show.
I'm trying to think of other bad. I've had games I didn't find fun, and other games that I've got like in a bargain bin just because I wanted the game and just wanted to have it rather than play it. I played a Warhammer video game that came out with a long time ago, based on like the Tau Army. That was a shooter and was just worse than Duke Nukem Forever. Oh, and I also have Duke Nukem Forever.
I've heard of
Get
it.
that.
Heard of that game.
Yeah.
It got
Full price.
rave reviews.
Yes.
What about you, Jess?
Yeah.
Oh, was Mark were you finished?
No, I can't. I'll try and think of some more, but go ahead.
I can really only think of 3, which is probably more than I should. But on the Super Nintendo, we had this game, and I'm almost like I'm like 80% sure that this is the game that it was. But we had this game that, for the life of me, I couldn't remember what it was called. And anytime I tried to talk about it, nobody knew what it was. But I think I found it, and it's called like Super Aquatic Games or something like that.
What? Look at the legs running around. That's brilliant. Sorry.
Yeah.
Super
Aquatic
Aquatic Games.
Terrible. I mean, whenever I was a kid, it was like, oh yeah, man, I love this game, whatever. But like, I found it, and then I was looking through it, and I was just like, oh, why did I play this? Like, I thought this was the best game ever, and it was just
What was it?
garbage.
What was it about?
You play aquatic games. It's a sports video game by, God, I don't remember who, but it was kind of like an Olympic style. It was just really, really bizarre.
It's like a bunch of
weird.
aquatic mini games, basically. Yeah, because I had one of those too. I had Summer Olympics on my Sega Master System because I got given a bunch of games, but and that game I'm pretty sure was pretty terrible. I didn't really have any awful Sega Master System games actually.
I wasn't done.
Sorry.
There's 2 more.
No, it's just because you were talking about like mini games, and I remember that.
No,
reminded me.
it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
What else you got?
The second terrible game that I've owned, and I bought this with my own money. Good lord.
Oh no.
I was like 9 or 10 at the time, so I think I can be forgiven for this, but it's A Bug's Life on the Nintendo 64. Oh god, that game is so awful. So bad, and I used to play it all the time. Mind you, I was a kid. I didn't have taste, so what do I know?
Yes.
And then the third game, the third terrible game that I have, as an avid Harvest Moon fan, I own quite a few Harvest Moons. I got Save the Homeland on the PlayStation 2, and it's fucking terrible.
What is Save the Homeland?
You go to like this island place, and there's 9 different endings. You have a specific amount, or not a specific, but you have a short amount of time to literally save the entire village or island or whatever it is from being turned into a theme park. But it's just so bad.
How's it different to like a regular Harvest Moon though?
It's the mechanics of the game. Usually in Harvest Moon games, like, you get married, you have kids, you raise
it's a dating
animals,
sim
stuff like that.
Disguise, yeah.
Yeah, but in this one, you don't do any of that. And you can either, like, raising livestock will get you one ending, growing crops will get you another ending, stuff like that. But it's just, I don't know, it wasn't, for me, I was like, oh yeah, Harvest Moon, woo all the girls and give one a blue feather and, raise animals at the same time and make a huge garden and farm and, and that was fun. But then Save the Homeland was just,
The 64
crap.
one, you said that one was the best one.
yeah, that's one of my favorites.
N64 Harvest Moon was great. I do want to say, actually, on the flip side from bad games, I do want to mention some very brilliant product I had back in the day. This was a Sega Genesis product. You got it through the cable company. It was called the Sega Channel.
Oh yeah, that thing was cool.
Yes. Yeah, for those of you who don't know at home, this was basically, you'd get it through the cable company, and then you'd hook it up to the wall, and you'd plug this cartridge thingy into the system. And it would, every 2 weeks or a month or so, they would send you, you'd basically be able to play like a few dozen Sega games, and they would update every month, every 2 weeks. Oh no, we threw it back at you.
Yeah. I didn't know they did that. I thought it was very clever.
Yeah, and this is a subscription-based game or thing, so you could keep getting new games, trying them out, getting new ones, and it was great. It was awesome. I remember loving it. Let's go and play new games every couple of weeks, trying new things that I've never played before.
Was it expensive though?
I don't remember because I didn't pay for it because I was a kid.
Actually, I remember my friend, like, cause his dad, they never had a lot of money, but so his dad would buy him those games for Game Boy, those like 5-in-1 games.
Oh yeah.
Thinking it'd be like, it's time well spent, and it's 5 like fucking tiny little 2-second mini games. When he finally got in Pokemon, it was like that's all he needed for a whole year. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I really had any terrible games, except Clay Fighter 63 and a third.
Oh, wait, I forgot a game.
Oh.
Fucking
What?
Bugs Bunny Crazy Castle 2
Oh!
on the Game Boy.
I remember the first Crazy Castle.
Oh, actually, could I add Krusty's Funhouse to my list?
I loved that game.
That game is not good.
I loved it as a kid. That was like
Guilty
my jam.
pleasure. Guilty pleasure.
Also, this is also fairly reminiscent. Sorry, going back to this game.
I've heard of it.
This is almost just like the Water Temple in Ocarina of Time. There's 3 little blades that you have to move past to get to the end.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
It's alright.
Thought I'd talk about the game that we're supposed to be talking about for just a quick second.
Unfortunately, it's one of those like temples where there's not a whole lot to really talk about. It's just like going to the same areas over and over again and changing them slightly.
So, what's everybody's favorite genre of game?
RPGs and Sims.
Adventure games, if they're really good.
I like going on adventures.
That being said, for me, there hasn't been any good adventure game since the N64 GameCube sort of era. For me personally,
What was your favorite one on the GameCube?
probably Wind Waker, I guess, would be pretty up there.
Okay.
See, I'd put things like GTA in that category almost.
GTA.
Well, I mean, like it's about you go out, you're exploring. You're not like it's not like a linear progression of like here's it's not like Call of Duty where it's like this is your level, get from point A to point B, and then you move on to the next thing. It's like it's an open world, just kind of like Zelda's like an open world where you can go out and you can explore all this.
Yeah.
In actually, if anything, the Zelda games are like more linear than things like
I
Grand
just
Theft
like the
Auto are.
fact how they're more unrealistic.
Yeah.
I like the creative thing. I don't really like real life based stuff like fighting and.
Oh, you gotta
Yeah.
redo it now?
No, I didn't realize. Anyway, you'll see me work it out eventually. One day.
One day more.
But yeah, adventure
Uh-oh.
games.
Yeah.
I'd say in terms of platforms, Nintendo is the only really people that can really pull them off. That I really think. Like PlayStation have a few here and there, like you got your Uncharted's and all those sort of things. But
The new
Yeah.
Tomb Raider, I would definitely recommend.
yeah, but I just think like even though some games are really getting realistic and whatnot, I prefer the really creative, artistic sort of stylistic games.
Style.
I would.
is-
For me, I'd say puzzle games and then Twitch games. It's like first-person shooters and reactive ones. We've all.
Does that mean
I've
you
grown
like?
up with-
Does that mean you like shmups?
What are shmups?
You know, like R-Type and bullet hell games.
Oh,
Ikarugas
not
are really
I don't.
good
I don't
one.
not like them, but I'm not fond of them.
When people say Twitch gaming, that's what the first thing I think of is usually those like brutally
Yeah.
difficult Japanese. This sort of. That's Twitch
It's
to me.
generally that's true. For us, it's generally like first-person shooters and things like that. It's not quite as Twitch, but or not the same way, but it is still a reactionary muscle memory type thing.
Yeah. I don't know. I think first-person shooters nowadays are for drooling retards.
Oh yeah, they've kind of gotten
Call
that
of
way.
Duty,
and,
yeah.
They're just like
Damn, this isn't gonna work. You have to think.
I don't know how to think. I never learnt that in
Stop
school.
taking your boots off.
That'll be a start.
Yep. Thankfully, after this temple, there are no more puzzles, which is why the episodes get much shorter.
Ooh.
I forget if I've mentioned this. Oh, you sped up the footage. You're like, this went on long enough.
I did?
Yeah, this footage is sped up. Footage is sped up, I think.
No.
No.
It is for me.
Nope.
Huh? Ooh.
What are you talking about, Mark? You're talking crazy.
It's
Everything's gonna be okay.
Every little thing's gonna be alright.
all right.
Oh, I'm gonna get copyright infringement for singing Bob Marley's.
Why are you
No,
going
because
back?
I'm sure you were off.
Because I gotta go get the little guy.
Oh, you can't fly through the wind? You just get pushed back.
Yeah, he's too light. There we
There
go.
we go. That worked.
I
You
solved
did
it.
that first.
Solved the puzzle. I'm so
Yeah,
clever.
everybody give an applaud. Yay.
Slow clap it out.
Little golf clap. Thanks everyone for your support. I appreciate it a
If
lot.
you applauded at home, take a picture and send it to Gerkinman's email.
Yeah, I'd love
Fan
to
photo.
hear from you. Where were we? What were we talking about? Oh yeah, favorite genres. So Jess, you like RPG? You like turn-based RPGs?
RPGs, simulation games, and adventure games. Yeah.
See, I like RPGs too, but I like the Western style RPGs, which are all real time and about exploring and non-linearity. I'm not big on JRPGs generally.
I liked Oh, go ahead, Blordo.
Sorry, I was just laughing at Dan's attempt to play Wind Waker music. After 5 attempts,
Finally got it.
nails it.
I really like the what is it? The turn-based RPGs, the tactical RPGs.
Oh yeah, I like tactical RPGs.
Final
like-
Fantasy Tactics.
Yeah,
was
Final
great.
Fantasy Tactics was good.
Yeah.
There was recently a Pokemon one of those come out on the DS. Or last year. That was really good. I really enjoyed that. I forgot what it was. Pokemon Conquest, I think it was called. It was very good. Highly recommend it.
I haven't played any of those side games with Pokemon.
I haven't played
all
any other side ones either. That was my first time, and I was just like, oh,
Oh.
this is actually really good.
Don't
Yeah.
play the Rescue Team games. For the love of God, save your.
Oh,
soul.
you mean the mystery dungeons?
No, like the Red Rescue Team, Blue Rescue
Oh.
Team. God, just save your time. God,
Hello.
damn
hello.
Just started doing a let's play of one of those, and it was pretty excruciatingly boring to watch. I'm trying to think what other of my favorite genres are. I still really like Nintendo's 3D platform, like their Mario platformers. They're to me like are the epitome of 3D level design and creativity.
Yep.
I enjoy shooters as well because I'm a bit of a dumb.
Did you say shooters?
Sometimes.
Yeah, I enjoy shooters. I prefer third-person shooters to first-person shooters.
I thought you just said you hate shooters.
No, I'm saying I hate dumb, like Call of Duty type dumb.
Oh.
I like thinking man shooters, which is why I enjoy
Yeah,
things
yeah,
like
tactical
Deus
more
Ex.
stuff.
Yeah, a little bit of tactical
Yeah.
or open-ended. That said, I like the old school shooters too. Like I can still go back and play Doom 2 and have a lot of fun with it, and that's just walking down corridor. But that's because there's like hundreds of enemies. That's why I like Painkiller and Serious
It's the
Sam.
Sarlacc.
It is the Sarlacc. Actually, I checked while I was playing Shadows of the Empire. They did not put the bird beak on the Sarlacc in that game. Thank God.
That came out in '97, so it probably
Just made it.
just made it.
But let's not talk about Star Wars in here. Are there any similarities between Star Wars and Zelda?
Hero on a Quest.
Oh yeah, that'll
Hero's Journey,
kettle of
yeah.
fish.
Ganondorf is Link's father.
Oh, Jesus.
Link, time for dinner.
Link is always born through divine conception because he never has a dad or a mum. He
has
never
an
has
uncle.
parents.
Well,
Is there any Zelda
he
game
did
where he
in
has a parent?
Ocarina of Time, but it was. Well, I mean, she was dead, but
Yeah.
he still had a mom technically. And I guess the Great Dooku Tree was kind of like a dad.
Yeah, in the fact that he kind of his mom, and then they gave
Tree
gave
babies.
birth to a tree baby.
That's how Makar was born.
Oh,
He was rooted.
Oh.
Australians get it.
Yeah, we get it.
Sure do.
Rooted means sex in Australia. For those of you playing at home, I don't know what it means in America. I hear you have deep-rooted racism in America,
Yeah, because slavery.
especially in the South.
Oh yeah. Go America! Woo!
America, fuck yeah. Oh look, and then I hit it in the face. It was a good time. Oh, also, yeah, I guess that falls into the Western RPG thing, 'cause that's like Fallout and...
Yeah, where Fallout's an RPG with first-person shooter.
I would
stuff
not
thrown in.
call
kind
it a
of like how
first-person
Mass
shooter
Effect
in the
was as well.
slightest. Yeah, I enjoyed Mass Effect. I like that sort
Yeah.
of RPG.
Where it's more about it's less about story happening. Well, no, it's still. I mean, it's less about just showing characters talking. Well, no, that's the same fucking thing.
No. But I mean, like,
Never
it's one of
mind, I
those
had
things,
a
like,
thought.
whenever, I remember, like, people were always like, oh, I love JRPGs, they always have, like, really good stories and really strong characters, and I finally took the time to, like, play a couple, and I was like, they all have the same story, and they all have the same whining, depressed hero, and annoying girl who travels with them,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
the what's that term, that comedic side character who's there to lighten the mood occasionally,
Oh, yeah.
with a high
Oh, the,
squeaky
yeah.
voice. And it's just like, what are you guys
freak out.
talking about? These are all terrible.
you say that, but you told me to record more episodes of Suikoden, Dan.
Yeah, but that's because that has that many characters in it. I don't know who's... And you
Yeah,
voiced
the
them
fact
silly.
That Suikoden, the fact that Suikoden has like 140 characters is
Yeah.
kind of cool, and the fact that you build up that castle is cool as well. That's
Yeah.
something that's unique.
It's not like... Well,
Um,
that said, Final Fantasy VII Cloud wasn't a little bitch until afterwards. It's like
Yeah.
the fans turned him into a little bitch.
Yeah, it's a fanboy thing and fangirl thing. It's that the fandom likes that kind of stuff for whatever reason. So whenever they see it, the wash, rinse, repeatness of it, they enjoy it.
Basically, people don't like new things.
Sometimes
People are afraid of change.
yes,
It's true.
which is why I'm very afraid of what's going to happen with Star Wars. Nobody knows. Nobody knows what's gonna happen.
Well, I'm sure they learned some things from
Oh
the
my
prequels.
god, it blew up!
Yeah,
Holy crap!
everything explodes in Zelda. It's like in
Yeah,
Return of the
it's
Jedi. You know, a
like
thing trips
Michael-
over a tree and explodes.
It's like Michael Bay's Zelda.
The camera's a little more sturdy than it would have been in a Michael Bay movie.
That's the easiest boss I've ever seen.
Well, you've played it. Did it play like the
Yes.
easiest boss you've ever played?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
quite simple.
It's
You have to
just
get the,
it's a
sand
little
out
more
of your
time
shoes.
consuming, but
Actually, a majority of these bosses are pretty easy, I guess.
Everything in this
game.
game's pretty easy. Yeah, they really
everything
fixed
in every Zelda game is pretty easy.
except
Yeah.
Zelda and Zelda 2.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, we need to kill that thing for food.
I don't know if there's a lot of meat on things made of wood.
A lot of nutrients.
But you
Look at him,
could
he's so cute.
you could use him as kindling for a meal.
Oh
You can imagine running around screaming on fire. That'd be hilarious.
no, it would not.
Yeah, they really fixed the whole sand boss thing in Twilight Princess with that giant Star Lord. That guy was awesome.
Star-Lord.
Yeah, the guy you
Remember
fight
this
on the Beyblade.
Oh,
Remember
yeah,
the flute kid from Link to the Past that got turned into a tree forever in the Dark
Yes. Yes.
World? Yay! Good
No.
times.
Oh man.
I haven't finished A Link to the Past.
Oh, ever?
Yeah,
There's some
spoilers.
information for you.
Well, it's,
It's not really spoiler.
yeah, it's just something that happens. I never really understood it when I was younger.
Do you understand it now, Mark?
I probably did last time it happened. I forget. I guess everything gets resolved in the end. It's just something. It's like world building.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because you do see him in the
In the credits, yeah.
and
And
yeah.
the whole point of there is to get his flute. Is that you
Yep.
realize that he has it there.
That's actually the first game where the ocarina came into play.
Yeah.
No, the Ocarina was in... Oh, wait, no, that came out afterwards. I was going to say Link's
No.
Awakening, but that came out after Link to the Past.
Yeah, it did.
I haven't seen one lady in a bikini. There are all these freaking beaches, not one like Mardi Gras or
Well,
spring break
given the-
ladies. What the heck?
Given the way the characters look in this game, that might be a blessing.
Did that fish just
Now,
say...
could you just imagine the teacher, like Miss Marie
That,
or
little,
whatever
that
her
fish
name
guy
is?
just said that
I
the
have.
Forsaken
I
Fortress
have.
is so empty you can hear the leaves falling on the cold, cracked ground. But I'm like, there's no trees at the Forsaken Fortress.
Not when you
Stupid
get
fish.
there.
Yeah, fish doesn't know shit.
Yeah, fish can't
Fish
go
don't
in there.
have
What does he know?
ears. Fish don't have ears.
Don't they? Yes, they do. Well,
Oh, that's-
thanks for joining us. That was the marathon. That was the longest episode in the series of
No
this
more
game.
dungeons?
No more dungeons from
If
now
you made it all
on.
the way to the end, be sure to go to the link that we send you and enter in the password 33479563.
To the
and you'll be
to
pleasantly
access the
surprised.
beta for the new Legend of Zelda game, courtesy of Nintendo.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So thanks for your time. Thank you, Jess. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Mark, for joining us on this extremely long episode. We won't be recording anything this long again for a while. Until Conker's Live, until Conker Live and Reloaded starts.
Triforce Quest coming up.
Yes, let's all get some Triforce. Join us for Triforces.